Hello, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Kristin. I dare you to try to say that 10 times fast. I've been with Algorithm for about 10 years, and this is just my day job. So those of you that have spent any time with me know that there's plenty of adventures in livestock out at the ranch in eastern Colorado. So today I would like to share just a great feature from 24R2, which is some outside processing improvements. This is a direct result. Mimi talked earlier today about ideas, and this is a direct result of those ideas. So it's just proof positive that Acumatica does listen. So I always thought Acumatica did a pretty good job with their outside processing. There was a couple steps to it, but it was, with a few GIs, it was easy to track. It was pretty, we could find ways to manage it pretty well. But if any of you have done implementations with me or anything, I'm always looking for that. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if? Wouldn't it be nice if we could just do this? Well, this is one of those things where they really listen. I think they kind of knocked this out of the park. I always thought, like I said, outside processing was done pretty well. I could live with it. But I think this one is kind of a game changer. So let's take a look at this a little bit. First of all, if you've done any outside processing, you know on our bill of materials that we have to set up as a subcontract source or a subcontract material type of subcontract, and our contract source would be purchase. Well, you'll see here they have now added this new type called purchase and move. So when we create our production order, so a move transaction, for those of you who are not in manufacturing, is how we report production against a production order and start to get that, moving it from one operation to the next, or we're moving that back into inventory at that time. So in our outside processing, it could be somewhere in the middle of that, and we need to create a purchase order to the vendor for that value-added service that they give us. And then when it comes back into our facility, we're going to receive that back in. So we used to have it receive it back in, and then we would do the move transaction separately on the production order. Now we've got that setting on that bill of materials. It says purchase and move. So when we receive that production order, it's now going to automatically create that move transaction if you want it to. It's definitely an option. So I've created a production order here, and you may have noticed this in Brandon's presentation too. First of all, you got to watch out for your muscle memory because I have changed this screen just a little bit. It's not dramatic, but you're going to see that they've moved a few things around here, and your quantity complete, scrapped and remaining, and your quantity produced have moved to the top, and now your warehouse and location have kind of moved under those production settings. So if you're like some people and you get used to your tabs and where everything is, we had a little bit of change here, so just kind of watch that muscle memory. If I look over on my side panel here, I'm going to go to my production order details. And those of you who are out there thinking, oh, I don't really like side panels, or you forget about them, don't forget about them because they make a nice shortcut. So I'm going to go ahead and create the purchase order for this outside processing since I've received it in. Maybe. There we go. So when we see a purchase order, it's never anything, it's not dramatically changed, but there is a change here. And you're going to see here that previously we would see that relationship on our production order details on the outside process tab. We would see a relationship to the purchase order, but from the purchase order, we would never see a relationship that went back to the production order. So like I said, we found ways to work around that. It hasn't been painful, but this is absolutely amazing, especially if you're handing this off to your purchasing team. So we have this button here that used to say view SO demand. So it only showed us sales orders that were linked to production orders, but view demand now, this button is also going to show us exactly what production orders this purchase order is tied to. So this is just a game changer for purchasing people. They're really going to like this. So with that, we can go ahead, we're seeing that demand now. And if we enter our purchase order receipt, and because, you know, doing this receipt's gonna do a little more heavy lifting than it used to. We'll go in and create that receipt. And you're gonna see that now we're receiving a new tab that is showing up here on our receipt screen, which is now a move tab. So before, you know, we had a three-way match. We had our purchase order, we had our receipt, and an AP bill. And then when it comes to production, now we almost have a four-way match. So if I release this, it's going to go ahead, because I said purchase and move, and it's going to go ahead and it's going to create that move transaction. It's going to bring it back into my facility, take those dollars and put them on the production order, like where we like to see them, and keep track of them. And it's going to give me a little message here. It's doing a little more work than just receiving this in, because this is a non-stock item that carries the cost of our value-added service that goes on our outside processing. Of course, it has to be slow today. We'll go over here. So that will give us a message that tells us where, and link it to our move transaction. Also on the production order maintenance screen, there is a new side panel that does our purchase history by production order, which apparently it's not going to show me that either. Well, I'm sorry about that. There we go. So, all right, it finally decided to process there. So in here on that side panel, we're going to see that relationship between the production order number, the PO number, and the receipt number. In addition to that, if we come back to our move transaction, it's probably not the right, so. That's going to give us a relationship also from the move transaction is going to show us where it's linked to that purchase receipt as well. So on our move here, We open that up, we will see from the move, we see the purchase receipt. From the purchase receipt, we see the move. So at the top, we have this new screen here that shows us that purchase receipt number. And they're all links, so you can click on them and get between them very easily. So I hope that those of you that I know are using outside processing are going to find this very valuable, and you'll have some quick improvements, some low-hanging fruit there.